Okay, welcome back. What I want to do today is to provide you with some information which should help out in regards to the 5357 Sitting Girls Electrical Installation course. Now, these slides are in reference to the 101 or the 001 Health and Safety specifications. Now, you can use this in its entirety, but remember that it has to be your work, so you have to write it up, you have to print it off and make it your own. Okay, you can't just take it from the screen as it is. That would not be appropriate. Okay, let's have a look. Here we have understanding health and safety, roles and responsibilities, by myself, of course. Okay, now I'm going to go through each slide in turn. Okay, let's just make sure we can get it on screen fully. Okay, and that it is, you can see in full. Now, the financial argument for good standard of health and safety. Why do we need standard of health and safety, and what cost could there be in regard to making sure that we have good health and safety? One, it saves down the money. Insurance payments, lost production time of employee, payments made to absent employee, overtime and temporary labor payments, third-party liabilities, damage to equipment, products, property, etc. Legal and court costs, fines. Not all of the above can be insured against, but by taking adequate measures, you can prevent some of them from occurring. Firstly, your employees are an asset to your company. Bear that in mind. And again, we can still continue with the financial argument for good standard of health and safety. Indirect cost. Now, low morale, lost time of other employees, production delays, okay, supervisor, management, administration time, accident investigation time, first aid and medical time, damage to reputation, loss of customer base contract. Okay. Now these are the things that you need to avoid in order to make sure your company is running at tip-top condition, and you need to ensure that you have a health and safety officer in place, and that will always be your first point of call. Okay. Right, understand health and safety roles. Excellent. Safety officers responsible for creating, maintaining, and improving safety in the workplace, ensuring legislation is adhered to. Now, the legislation you are looking at here is REDO, health and safety in regards to ESQA, etc., PPE regulations, and I'm going to try and see if I could add that to this video in a moment once I can get HSC's screen on site. Okay, formulating operational procedures that recognizing hazards, minimizing conflict between safety and production considerations, assess risk and propose workable solutions, undertake inspections, carry out accident investigations, keep records and write reports. Now you're going to find that you will need to do this in regards to the 5357, 101 or 001, whichever the case may be. Okay, and this is quite useful to you. Okay, recap: liaise with professionals such as officers of enforcing authorities like the HSE, assist in planning, implementing, monitoring and reviewing health and safety strategies. Advise on the fire regulations, safeguarding machinery, noise, hazardous substances, and here you have it, hazardous substances in regards to the HSE, occupational health and environmental health. Okay. Now, those are the things you will need to bear in mind. They will form part of your work as long as you're doing the 5357 or previously the 2357, okay? Okay. Let's see if we can go in a little bit just to make sure that we can get it in as possible, okay? You can read it, okay? Okay, that's good. Fine. And again, here we have safety representatives, okay? Now, in your workplace of work, you should have a safety rep. And most companies nowadays have one. It's automatic, okay? Safety representatives are responsible for representing employees during consultations, meetings on health and safety issues with the employer. They have a right to investigate potential hazards and dangerous occurrences in the workplace, investigate complaints by employees, make representations to management on safety issues, inspect the premises, receive information from inspectors, take time off to carry out their duties with full pay, training, facilities and cooperation of management in their role. Now, some of you guys can become safety representatives, okay? It's quite an amenable role these days, okay? I'm going to make sure I can get it well in, okay? Okay, so that should be in good. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, and again here we continue again with health and safety executive. Now, the health and safety executive job is to prevent people being killed, injured, or made ill by work. They are an independent prosecuting authority that takes action against those who put workers at risk of death, illness, or injury. To prevent death and injury, they help businesses understand how the laws to keep people safe at work affects them. HSE is responsible for all other work premises, including local authorities themselves. Both groups of inspectors have the same powers. Okay. Now, health and safety inspectors appointed under this Act have the authorization to enter premises at any reasonable time, take with them another authorized person and necessary equipment, examine and investigate, require premises or anything in them to remain undisturbed for purposes of examination or investigation. Now, take measurements, photographs and recordings, etc. Take measurements, photographs and recordings, okay? And that's your health and safety inspector's powers. And don't forget, they can also close down your company as well, if need be. Okay, cause an article or substance to be dismantled or subjected to any test, take possession of or retain anything for examination or legal proceedings, a contravention of the law and specifying a date by which the situation is remedied, there is an appeal procedure which must be triggered within 21 days. The notice is suspended pending the outcome of the appeal. Issue a prohibition notice. So let me just make sure we get that in. Okay, there we are. Which is a notice identifying halting a situation which involves or will involve a risk of serious personal injury to which the relevant statutory provisions apply. A contravention need not have been committed. The notice can have immediate effect or be deferred. For example, to allow a process to be shut down safely. Again, there is provision to appeal against the notice, but the order still stands until altered or rescinded by an employment tribunal. Okay. Okay, now I'm just going a little bit, make sure we can get this up in full. Okay. Okay. Now take samples as long as a comparable sample is left behind. Require information, facilities, records, or assistance. Require any person who can give information to answer questions and sign a statement. Require information, facilities, records, or assistance. Do anything else necessary to enable them to carry out their duties. Initiate prosecutions. Seize, destroy, or render harmless any article or substance which is a source of imminent danger. Issue an improvement notice, which is a notice identifying. And here we have, excuse me. Here we have penalties for conviction under the Health and Safety at Work Act, etc. Act 1974 as well, and relevant statutory provisions. Now, offences heard only in lower courts. Visa Section 14. Now, it will be up to you to look at what Section 14 is. And when I give you the information in regards to HSC, you will find Section 14 in the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974. It will direct you exactly to which section you will need to be looking at. Check and make sure that these sections still is relevant, because there have been some changes since. Okay, so and we still may be going for some changes even still, because of the fact that we're leaving the EU. Okay, so please be aware of that. Okay. Now, £5,000 for offences committed on or after the 1st of 10th 92. Now, this may have since changed. Check it, check again and again. Okay. These are just things that I've written up some time ago and created some work when it was at that point or price in time. Okay. Okay, good. And again here now, penalties for conviction still continues. Okay, and we've covered this earlier, so you can look at that for yourselves in due course. Okay, I don't need to spend any further time on that. Okay, and again here, similar thing, telling you penalties, what the penalties are. Okay, let's just go and make sure you can see it and that you can understand them, hopefully all below. Okay. Okay. Now, the Health and Safety Commission was in. Now, these has amalgamated and has become one with the Health and Safety Executive. So, nothing more to do on this. Just that the regulations has now changed and moved on. So, I don't need to spend any time on this, as it's now one with the HSE. Environmental health. Now, environmental health is concerned with the health, well-being and safety of people and the environment in which they live, work or visit. It focuses on the prevention of ill health through education and promotion across a variety of areas. For example, health and safety, pollution control, consumer protection, housing and food safety, enforcement options, advice, education and prevention, informal action, formal action, legal statutory notice, formal caution or prosecutions. Okay, and those are the things that can be done in regards to the environmental health situation. Now you need to look up this for yourselves and make sure you comply with the regulation as it is today. Okay, as changes has taken place. So again, check, check, check. Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it correct, get it as central as I can. Okay, so bear with me. Okay, right. Make sure we can get it all in. Okay. Okay. Environmental protection. Environmental health officers undertake the following environmental protection duties: investigate nuisances, business, domestic activities, promote awareness of neighborhood noise, regulate emissions, etc., etc., etc. You can read this for yourself. Don't need me to read that foot to you. Let's just make sure that you can actually see it. Okay. Okay. Good, good, good. Okay, good. Thank you. Now, understanding health and safety roles and its responsibilities. Okay, just pan back so we can make sure we get it all in. Okay. And this is to deal with consequences of waste materials, provide advice and support, air pollution, liaise with the planning services, proposal in terms of potential or adverse environmental health. I'm just briefly taking this extract from this, okay? So you can read it for yourselves. Don't need me to be reading this out to you. Okay, recommended appropriate planning, manage and the standards of local air pollutions, etc. Strategies in partnerships, provide information and advice on radon gas in dwellings. Okay, now radon gas is a gas that tend to come from fluorine many moons ago. Whether it still can exist today, So please be aware of that, because you still have many houses which is still standing from 1920s or 18 something. Let's see if we can bring this a bit so that you can get seats for it. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Trading standards, officers enforce the law, okay. Fair trading, food safety, okay, etc. You can read this for yourselves, so let me just take it from the top, okay. You don't need me to read this to you. This just makes you aware of the health and safety issues and so forth. Okay. Now remember, this can be used in conjunction with 101 or 001, and remember the old 301 health and safety for the 2357 and the new 5357 as well. Okay, it's just going to depend on you how you want to apply it and how you intend to use it. Okay. Okay, again, just continuing with a role. Failure to display selling prices of goods and misleading price indication, etc. Okay, again, here you can read all this for yourselves. Don't need me to come into reading this for you. Okay. Make sure I can pan back so you can get it full in view. Okay. Okay.